Welcome back to Rate My Chase Beta Prospect. Before we get into the chases of the LSPD Metro Cop Chronicles, let's get into a City Streets Are Clean segment brought to you by
Lips 106.
Lips 106. There have been 11 Chronicles in Rate My Chase history up until now, not including this one. All of the previous Chronicles all featured warrants. This time, for the first time, we have a Chronicles featuring a bunch of collective cops. The LSPD Metro. That annoying cop gnag that doesn't let anyone rob anything. Either way, let's take a look at who is in it. We usually like to avoid doing this, but let's take a look at the featured cops. Some of them that we'll see in this one. We got Dusty Flop and Conceited, Cristania, Nabarro, Preacher, McRenner, Vinny 214 and Track Lizard, Hostile Capybara, and Agent M. And the warrants will be something interesting in this one. First off, we'll have the 1-2-3 Prospective Series with QNVN, Evan, and Agent M before he turncoats. Rezer and Assassin, and also Chabs as part of the Chabs Series, all in Part 1. Part 1 will have 3 graded chases and 7 prospective chases. Part 2 will have 4 graded and 2 prospective chases. The most chases, prospective or not, in Rate My Chase history for a Chronicles. Now it is time to get into the chases of the Part 1 of the LSPD Metro Chronicles. Time for a chase to kick off the Chronicles. First chase of the 1-2-3 Prospective Series. We have Agent M right here in a defiler, and we pause for whatever reason. There's a cop in the distance calling for backup, waiting for the okay for the engage. QNVN is also here, as well as Preacher and McRenner come in. Agent M, for whatever reason, is outside of a vehicle, but McRenner and Preacher will pull out, pause. They'll get back in, pause. And both entities will take shots at each other here. Here comes another unit as Evan comes in. It is Nabarro and Cristania in a dual-purpose Buffalo STX. Another unit there with Conceited to our south. Bit of a ram there on QNVN as his 811 is taking a bunch of shots right here. Both warrants get out. Dusty Flop, Track Lizard, and Conceited in that car. Track Lizard gets melted by Agent M as Rezer there is trying to disappear. One of these guys here, QNVN though, he gets melted. And now it is a 1v4 over here as Agent M runs to his death by Conceited. On the other side of the trailer park right here, or house park, Nabarro and Evan mutually kill each other. Cristania never got out of the car. This is an area where Nabarro let out his old weed expression days. And Track Lizard still on the ground here. A very long interlude into the second prospective 1-2-3 gnag chase right here. Yeah, already said Track Lizard here. Second prospective chase. This is not the 1-2-3 gnag. Abdullah is running from a cop who is calling for backup. It is Luna Visits going westbound here, converging with 2 cop units who had just taken down the 1-2-3 gnag. There's a big insane stump bonus there by Abdullah, but he doesn't land with stride. He gains the resist star as he gets shot at by all the Metro. Conceited here, leading as Abdullah's car is flipped. He'll try to find a way to get out here, but he gets rammed by McRenner and Dusty Flop. going westbound, and the car blows up. The Zentorno dead. Very rare to see a car blow up on this server anymore, but that is huge. Second Prospective chase of the 1-2-3 Prospective Series. Third Prospective chase of Part 1. QNVN and H&M looking to rob this bank right here as hostile capybara tailgates H&M. And now the Metro will converge. Bank guy comes in as well as McRenner hits him by accident. Evan comes out. He tries to get back on his bike, but he fails, gets rammed. He will get up though and take some shots at hostile capybara. Top left of the screen. Evan though losing it, gets taken down by hostile capybara. He's at low health. The car blows up though, the 811, and that takes out Track Lizard. As now H&M running through alleys. Shots onto him. He will take some drugs as McRenner takes shots at him, but the cops now realize that they have the upper hand. H&M takes a gun out, but he gets tased by Navarro. And H&M gets taken down, arrested. There's a big dichotomy between the both of them these days. Third Prospective chase, last of the 1-2-3 gnag for the Chronicles. Fourth Prospective chase of Part 1. The 1-2-3 gnag right now are robbing the Vangelico jewelry store here, as the cops have barricaded both exits. Dusty Flop taking shots at the 811. See Navarro, Cristania, McRenner, and more coming in. The Nero getting shot at as well, laying siege on these guys right here. QNVN with the Born to Die helmet right now, looking to see if he can get an angle with the pump shotgun Mark II. H&M there with the jumpsuit. We jet down and conceded jets in. That'll prompt all the cops to grow a cock and go inside, even though it's a 7v2. QNVN goes down, H&M reloading. And I think Dusty Flop got the kill, but who knows? Yes, he did. Track Lizard and Dusty Flop get the kill. Did I say Fixty's name? I don't think that was true. Either way, first graded chase. This is the Chabs Series. He has Nico 2112 with him right now, or Nilo 2213. Excuse me. Screw that name up. Here in a Sanchez. Dusty Flop, though, the only cop on the chase as Chabs goes down into the sewer. Both warrants resisting. Dusty Flop needs a 10-1 right now. 10-1 on two warrants on a Sanchez, and right now, as he does call for backup, a real 10-1, he is being chased by the warrants right now. Going southbound, Dusty Flop turns around and tries to get back into it to bait the warrants into McRenner and Preacher. The dual-purpose Buffalo STX pretty big in these chronicles right now as Chabs jumps back onto the train tracks right here. Dusty Flop, his car is gone as more shots get shot from McRenner and Preacher into Nilo and Chaz, but Nilo, for whatever reason, comes off of the Sanchez and gets melted by Preacher and McRenner. Now it's just Chabs who's still resisting here in the sewer area. Chabs now going back northbound as he gets some separation. There's a cop to the west who will drop down. Cristania comes in to give backup off screen to Dusty Flop. Chabs going straight up into the air. He'll drop down back onto the train tracks. But the cops have another 10-1 going on. They will switch aggro onto somebody else. As Chabs, for now, is scot-free, but it's not done. And who they're gonna go to is Jess, the 5th prospective chase of part 1. Jess, right here in a Hakachu, he gets knocked over, and at this point, not too sure can do very much. Cristani and Navarro get out. He'll get arrested, and Jess will go to jail with the Michael skin. Easy arrest right there. Next up, Prospective Chase number 6 of part 1. Lava using a drugger. As I've seen firsthand, Lava being a pussy using the drugger, obviously. Either way, going up the hills right now as he is being shot at by an Annihilator in Tongva Valley here. Lava dropping down. The Annihilator a bit too slow here. Agent M is in it. He will dip down though, as Lava really is not going much, not really going anywhere. So the Annihilator's lack of speed doesn't really matter here. Lava gets out of his drogger as the flop cop tank comes up. Lava though does not see the cop team coming as he gets run over. Agent M comes down and dips down and he hits us. But Lava does not see that there's a cop behind him. I guess he has no radar or something, because I don't understand why he didn't see a cop behind him. Conceded there. He's the one who threw a cock, by the way, at Vangelico. Continuation to the first chase of the Chabs Series. He's outside of the bank right now. And a cop is here, hostile Capybara, to try to get Chabs right here. Rolling around pools and all that. Capybara in his Cyclone with neons, but can he back all that up by taking Chabs down right here? As we go eastbound in Howitt, Chabs will turn right, still in that Sanchez. Turning left is Chabs, going into the grass a bit. He'll go close to the Interstate 2 on-ramp, which he will sideswipe, turn around, circle again around that car. He'll get onto the on-ramp to Interstate 2 West. Chabs hit from behind by hostile Capybara, but that'll put Chabs up on the hill. Capybara, third roll, now some shots by Chabs, and hostile Capybara probably should have been a bit more aggressive right there. He allows Chabs to get into his own position, and Chabs takes down hostile Capybara. And with these cops these days, you know, people complain about non-starred warrants and killing non-starred warrants. Sometimes you have to put yourself in position for yourself. And hostile Capybara did not do that. Here is Fixty in a Nero Custom, as Conceited and Dusty Flop are on the chase right now. Rolling around Rockford Hills, where we saw Sativa Geezer mess around in the first Season 2 era chase of the season. Chabs just messing around the Mount Zana Medical Center right here, as he's on the high level right now. Fixty, does he have the patience to mess around with Chabs right here as more cops come up? Track Lizard comes up, but he will not bother. Dusty Flop and Conceited still around. Actually, Track Lizard is actually rolling around the medical center here. Fixty is the one who will not bother, as Chabs presumably will fix his Sanchez. Not too sure if he really needed to. He will jump down as Track Lizard got out of his Buffalo STX. McRenner is here as well, as we almost screw up right there. On to the Interstate 2 West on-ramp goes Chabs, or not really, as he will stunt jump and get into an area to fake these cops away. The cops won't even mess around here. A bit later, Chabs is back on the street in Little Seoul to Rockford Hills. There is a cop, McRenner. He's out of his car, conceited. I think Dusty Flop timed out, so conceited is not really paying attention as far as I can figure. And not a lot going on right here, as Chabs is just scot-free right now as far as I can see. Waiting for Conceited to do something, he gets into the driver's seat and he will disengage from Chabs. It's as if Chabs has some kind of disease or something, which I wouldn't put it past. Anyway, this is Prospective Chase number 7 of Part 1. And I'm not too sure if we can call it a chase because we have Soviet trying to rob the bank, but he is stuck in the vault as the vault closed on him. So now we have to wait for the vault to open. Kristania, Agent M, Capybara, among others waiting, conceded. Then finally opens, and Soviet has no chance. No chance in hell. Vince McMahon cued the theme song for him, I guess. This is still chase number 1 of Chabs Series, by the way. He has not gotten arrested yet, so it doesn't really count to make this the second chase or the third chase. But either way, Pepe Popo is here in HC20, chasing after Chabs. Will he be the first person to grow a consistent cock to stay with Chabs in this one? We will see. Pepe Popo getting stuck behind Chabs right here, and he will turn right. Chabs obviously wants to be chased, but Pepe Popo will instead give tickets to Rensar and Abbas Lickman. And Pepe Popo goes after Chabs again, but he will not knock Chabs off his bike. He switches from the Sanchez to another bike right here. I think it's a Hakachu, but who really knows? I can't really tell my bikes apart. A lot of shots by Pepe Popo, taking down about a quarter of Chabs' armor here as he rolls around in areas where Pepe Popo can't go to. But still, Pepe Popo can get some consistent shots in the Chabs right now as we go up the rampway through the heart of Pillbox Hill near the depository. Now here come more cops, Agent M, Preacher, Hasta Capybara, and McRenner as Pepe Popo rams into the back of Chabs, knocks him off. It's Max, runs into Chabs. Chabs nowhere to go. Tries to jump off of the highway, but he gets arrested by It's Mags. A C- for the first graded chase of Part 1 of the Chronicles. This is now chase number 2 of the Chabs series. We have Chabs, obviously, with Cord McNally in a Wagner, but some more backup here. A 10-1 being answered here as Dusty Flop and Conceited come in. So does Bankai 86 in on it. Chabs resisting here as Cord McNally trying to reverse into Chabs, but ends up not doing very much right there. Chabs goes over the hill right there and gets back onto the street, able to get separation from the 4 cops that are chasing right now as the end of the game week soon to come. Vinny 214 comes in a Buffalo STX. Chabs somehow gets over the hump right there onto Interstate 2 going westbound as the cops gotta find a way to get on the highway right here as the game week will end. And Chabs still going here as he will go on to Interstate 5. southbound now. He'll get off the highway, though, back onto the streets, and he'll go eastbound as we have trouble typing. There's a cop to our east. That is Vinny looking to get a rendezvous point with Chabs, but he's on the wrong lane, so that's not going to really work. Vinny drops down, though, onto where Chabs is, and Vinny now able to get some shots on Chabs. Chabs trying to weave around to fake Vinny out. Chabs will go up the ramp of the arch. Vinny connects with Chabs as he goes down to the water, though Chabs does get down in stride into the sewer area yet again. Across the water goes Chabs as he goes up near where we saw him in the early first Chabs chase of the Chabs series onto the train tracks again. Vinny at a loss right now as Conceited and Dusty Flop come down. Chabs gets hit by Vinny. Vinny jumps out of the car in motion. Chabs gets back onto the BF400, but Vinny is there to jack Chabs and arrest him and take him down. What a play by Vinny, knowing when to jump out of that car. And now it's time for the final chase of the Chabs series and the final graded chase and the graded final chase of part 1. Chabs in a Hakachu. This is actually the final chronological chase of the LSPD Metro Chronicles, but just to end the Chabs series, to not see him in part 2, we've got him here. In the undercarriage right here, Cord McNally trying to get his way to Chabs right here as he will mess around with typical bike warrant foolery. We said a different word back in Ray My Chasing Crazy Bobs. Might bring it back, who knows. Back on the street goes Chabs onto the ramp up. A bit later, Cord McNally is standing still. Chabs will middle finger Cord McNally, who doesn't seem to want to really have much to do with this chase. After the middle fingers, Chabs pulls up a bit. Cord McNally, not too sure what his game plan is, but he turns around and drives away. Not really understanding what that's about from Cord McNally. But there is a cop down the lane. Who is it? It is Roots 99, as he'll take some consistent shots at Chabs. The only real cop on the chase, as Cord McNally is trying to rethink his life choices. Will he turn around to help Roots in this one, or will he let Roots do it? As now around the Union Depository, Chabs will do some typical bike warrant-agery. We did it. And roll around areas which are tough for cars to maneuver in. Chabs will get into T-bone position, go past Roots. Chabs trying to get down, and he will fail. Roots trying to line up a hit, but he does not get it. Chabs again going through the squares right here. Roots is being very patient for whatever reason. Chabs, though, will get out of this area, going up the stairs, and Roots will have a hell of a time getting out here as Chabs will roll around the Union Depository, get back down on the street as H&M ends up hitting a car into Chabs' delay, knocking him off the Hakachu. Tries to jack H&M. H&M T-bones the Hakachu again. Roots comes down and hits Chabs again off the Hakachu. Roots comes out, looks around, and he tries to tase Chabs, but Chabs has disappeared. Borat Gauge Stars coming up, rightfully so, as Chabs finds himself in the Union Depository parking lot. He sees a door which he can't go into. Foot pursuit right now. Roots trying very hard not to run Chabs over. Chabs now getting out of the parking lot onto the street, trying to find a vehicle to get into. There are a few as Agent M hits Chabs. Roots gets out, tases Chabs. He'll get the arrest. That is the end of part 1 of the LSPD Metro Chronicles and the end of the Chabs series. We'll see you next time for part 2.